Hi everybody, welcome. It's so nice to have you here. I am out here in the woods in Cross Plains, Wisconsin, and it's really nice to, digitally bring you into this space. I was joking on the stream the other day, like, oh, maybe we could go live from the woods. And it really resonated with me. I don't know if you can hear it now, all the birds singing and the gentle breeze blowing through. I'm such a big nature lover. I want to try to bring environments and spaces to us. When we're in a fasting space, like if I have to be fasting, the space I really would want to do it, being actually out in nature, like where you can touch actual ground, be grounded in the space. So I am recording this on Saturday, and I'm bringing that into this space now, but I am here live with you. So throw your comments and reflections as we go along. I'm going to be sharing some thoughts with you on a creative expression of health, continuing through the creative act by Rubin. And I'd like to invite you, share your reflections in the chats. I'll be throwing comments up as I do. We'll have a chat about it in the comments. And then after we flow through this space, I said, let's have a little discussion. We'll do a little Q&A. We'll have some reflections on this experience. Love to hear about how you are doing. What are the barriers that you have in health that you want to move toward? Try to create a space where you can do it. Can we take a space like this? Beautiful nature. Gorgeous day today, into the mid-70s. First spring day, lots of signs of spring. To me, spring, an encouraging time. I want this space. Let's make it such an encouragement for our week. We're going to start out on the right foot, bring in some great analogies and thinking in this space. Okay, share reflections and comments, and I will be with you here on Saturday and here as we are live. And if you're coming through on the replay, absolutely throw your reflections in the comments. They all come to me. Let's have a big conversation across time about 3 thoughts that Rubin is getting us. I'm seeing 3 thoughts in this section. The first one is he's giving us an opportunity to overcome our insecurities. Like if you open up some space right now, like, do you have any insecurities that you would like to overcome? How do you do it? He says, start by labeling them, okay? He tells a story. Remember, this guy who's giving us all these creative insights, one of the most famous record producers in the world, works with the best artists. He says, I was working with an artist who was frozen by doubts, unable to move forward. Have you ever felt like that? You're trying to create your expression of health in the world, and it's like we're stuck, right? We're saying, how do we break out of that? I asked him if he was familiar with the Buddhist concept of Papancha, which translates the preponderance of thoughts. This speaks to the mind's tendency to respond to our experiences with an avalanche of mental chatter. Have you ever had that? Like just racing thoughts, so many things coming in, especially negative thinking coming in that space. Remember, we've done so much work looking at that the default mode is complacency because there's all these thoughts stacked against us. Saying, let's just not take a risk. Let's keep everything safe. This is what keeps us from changing. The artist responded to him, oh, I know exactly what that is. That's me. But he had never had a name for it. We have a name for it. If you go back into the fall, when I was reading through this, I say that's system 1. Remember, thinking fast and slow was giving us these 2 modes that we think in. We got system 1, this fast thinking, where all these priming effects are coming in. And then system 2, like that more conscious layer. So many times, all these thoughts are getting loaded in System 1. So whether you call it System 1, very dry, academic, scientific perspective, or you call it Papancha, you label that stuff. Once he had a name for it, he knew what was holding him back. He was able to normalize these doubts, not take them so seriously. Remember what we said back in the fall, that we take these thoughts and even feelings that get loaded in there. Remember, we called it the, I think it was the section illusion of understanding. Illusion of something, right? That even our feelings, they don't necessarily represent us. Just label this stuff and help to move on. Say, hey, this is mental chatter, whatever you call it. There's negative thinking in here. We try to separate ourselves from that a little bit. Like we're trying to take powerful steps forward in health in the middle of a society that is kind of on a train to nowhere good. I watched a documentary over the weekend, The Plastic Detox. It's on Netflix. Just one little slice of an area where it's like so many barriers to health, all these chemicals and hormone disrupting stuff getting in our body. That documentary, yeah. Check that out. Let me know in the comments. Do you watch The Plastic Detox? What did you think of that? Okay, so that's one step for us today. Label our insecurities, help us to recognize them for what they are. Potential sources of self-defeating thinking. Say, we don't need that. Not today, not in a fasting space, not in a powerful place where we are taking charge of the situation. That breeze feels so good. I don't know. This will be learning for me. How does the audio work with it? Do you hear the breeze so nice, or is it too much? You know, to me, when I'm in a space like this, listening to birds and feeling a breeze like that is just reminding me, like, breathe, you know? Wind is like the breath of the earth. See, wherever we are right now, right? Tuning in. Take a big, deep breath. Breathe in some of that fresh spring breeze. Exhale out any of those insecurities, right? If we're having anything like that, say we can just literally breathe that out, because this is how we stay grounded, right? In a space. Okay, section number 2. Thought number 2 from Rick Rubin today. Said, I was meeting with another artist who had just released a very successful album, but they felt afraid to do any more work, and they listed different reasons why they didn't want to make any more music. And he notes there are always good reasons not to continue. He tells them, hey, it's fine. You don't ever have to make any music ever again. There's nothing wrong with that. Just stop. If it's not making you happy, okay, it's your choice. Don't have to do it. As soon as I said this, her expression changed. She realized that she would be happier creating than not creating. All right, so this section in our context hit a couple things that really resonated with me. Here an artist, very successful person, created something good, right? Had some amount of success, but felt afraid to go on. To me, that is sounding like that's getting into the mindset of like our plateau space, where we're saying we're climbing a mountain, right? Look at the sections we've been doing. Mountain is you, atomic habits. The obstacle is the way. As if we climb up to a certain point, And then there can be a certain level where you say, I'm not afraid, like a plateau, a space can be so frustrating space, like an artist like this felt trapped. Successful artists can't even go on. It's like we're in a space, plateau, health space, feeling stuck. I wrote in here, no rules for weight loss. I loved that section because this is what I try to do. Fasting space, in my view, what I try to show, I say fasting is openness. It is not a rigid, dogmatic thing that you are signing a contract on and stuck in, okay? Just like Rick Rubin says, like, hey, it's good reasons to stop. Don't have to do anything. Like, no rules. It's all good. But what is it that makes you happy? And I wrote here, do we want to climb? I loved that section from The Mountain Is You. Like, we're getting the base camp, right? That's the plateau space, base camp. You can stay there. You can hike back down and say, this is not for me right now. I'm not in the mind to, it feels like a struggle here. Always can walk back down. No rules. But here's what he says, it's your choice. What is it that makes you happy? I say, do you want to climb? You know, I say fasting space, this is a place for climbers, you know. If you want to climb, it's a space for anybody. It's a space for people who want to walk back down is fine. You know, hang out here is fine. You know, these are all metaphors, okay? This is like a base camp also, you know. We just hang out here, everything's good, no pressure. But like, I am giving the offer, the opportunity to say, like Rick is saying, like, do you want to climb, you know? And if you want to climb, it doesn't mean you're always successful. It's like you try. We don't always in life, you know, get the immediate gratification that we want, right? I read a book once, which I really didn't like it. What was it called? Something about ego. No ego. It was no ego. I gotta say, I really actually didn't like the book, but maybe it was just my headspace at the time, but like the big message of the book, which really, it is okay. Stay in joy or leave in peace. They basically repeated that 50 times in the book. But like, that's the base camp. Stay in joy, it's fine, okay? Leave in peace, either direction, right? Walking down, walking up. Leave base camp in peace, right? Nobody forcing anybody to walk up the mountain. That's like a calling, you know what I mean? Maybe I'll read that book again. From a better mindset. It sounds good the more I think about it. This artist realizing, you know what, I'd be happier creating than not creating. Like, I want us to see ourselves as creators, as artists. We're creating the expression of our life. We're like digging into nature and beautiful spaces if you can. Feels so good to me right here. I hope you can feel that space, drawing inspiration from the earth, because like, we are part of the earth. We came out of it, we're heading back to it, right? That's the cycle of life. And in the moment, like in this beautiful moment, like we just have this opportunity here to do our best, you know? Such a beautiful moment as I'm sitting here with this sun. So beautiful. That flows right into this section. The third section from Rick Rubin. Gratitude can help, he says, okay. A practice of gratitude to me is like, that is the most grounding process. Like, I just want to, I'm going to touch the ground while I'm here just to feel that soft spring soil grounding here. Gratitude is the most grounding because, like, you say, the thing that is not grounded is like living in the past, right? Is living in the future is anxiety. Living in the past is regret. Like, when you find gratitude, like, that just centers you, like, right here. Like, I am finding gratitude right now that I can be here outside, breathing this beautiful clean air, looking at these beautiful clouds, and I'm grateful to share this space with you and that we can be thinking together. And I love to hear your thoughts and reflections about this. Where are you finding gratitude today? Put it in the comments. Let's support each other and share. You know, have you ever had it, somebody sharing gratitude for something, and then like it helps you to find gratitude for that thing, and then maybe you were feeling gratitude for something, and then you share that, and it's like a virtuous cycle as we're practicing gratitude together. Help us all be grounded and present in this day. And Rick says, realizing you're fortunate to be in a position that allows you to create. So like we have an opportunity to make our best health choice in this day. That's our creation that I want to create today. Like it doesn't matter what the past has been. You say, I'm not feeling healthy, you know, like we're coming off the weekend. Maybe you had a bad weekend, you know, whatever it is. Or you say, my last 3 decades have been bad, like whatever it is. You say, this is past, right? Leave that all in the past. Like we are here now, in this place. Like, so beautiful. And we have an opportunity to take a step today, right? It's the only step that we can take. And we have many different steps that we can take. We take as many steps as you feel inspired to take, okay? No rules. The things that we could do though, we could choose to avoid every synthetic food, anything that came even in a wrapper, you know? Just nothing that touched plastic, if possible. That's on my mind these days. Just things that came from the earth in as natural a way as possible. If we only did that in that day, okay, what a gift to the body. And then we move the body in the healthiest ways. When I'm outside like this, it just makes me want to walk around, you know? I am going to walk around. I think maybe when I'm done sharing these thoughts, maybe I take the camera, I do a little walk around. I'll show you where I want to put the goats. So many brambly things. We'll take a walk together. He says, we're in an opportunity here where we can create. Let's have gratitude for it. When we find the gratitude, he says, that might tip the scale in the balance of doing the work. Okay. It's a struggle, right? We've talked about it. Anytime we're trying to move towards something of value in life, right, there's always resistance to it. Very little resistance to things that aren't really moving the needle, right? You see, it's easier. It's like stay in bed instead of getting up and getting active, right? Sitting instead of doing. Don't feel so much resistance to it until we build the deep work, the identity. This is just who I am. We got to do it. But when we find gratitude, right, then we can start to flow toward it, tip the balance. That's what Rick's saying. I like it. He says, ultimately, your desire to create, what I would say our desire for health, must be greater than our fear of it. This is like the same, we were getting these same lines out of the mountain as you the other day. I said in that one, I don't know if it was I said or we took it out of there, but it was like create a vision that is bigger than your fear or our fear, right? It was something like that. Create a vision that is greater than our fear. That's what it was. And so gratitude is something that can help us to do it. Find the things that we are most grateful for, find inspiration from them, and say, hey, these things that I have, this present moment, health, the opportunity of being here, it's so awesome, like it's so great, you know? Say, lean into that. Hard to be afraid. When we're thinking in such a positive way, that's what gratitude does for us. He closes here, he says, he's worked with some of the greatest artists that have ever performed, and he says many of these people are still fearful, even after decades of performing. Like, I don't know, have you ever gotten on stage in front of people? Especially, can you imagine being some mega artist and performing in front of 100,000 people? You know, He says some people just never get over that. I could relate. I don't think I would get over it. One artist, despite a terror so strong it made him sick to his stomach, he still stepped out in the spotlight each night and he performed a spellbinding show. Wow. By accepting our self-doubt, rather than trying to eliminate or repress it, we lessen its energy and interference. Do you see the point of that? See, to me, that says a lot to our space, right? We are not, presumably, getting on stage in front of some mega audience and have to get over pressure or something that is so intense to perform in front of so many people, okay? But we still have a lot of pressure in our own life that can feel very intense, right? And so by looking at that analogy, say we accept the self-doubt. Even after 5 decades, this singer's still getting nervous, okay? Just accepts it, okay? They're able to flow through and still perform, you know, despite it, not by burying it, and they never even eliminated it. Of course, I would love to help all of us eliminate every negative experience. Let's try to do it. I say, absolutely, let's try to do it. But I say, what if we don't? What is the session we did the other day was like action first, feelings later, something like that, you know? We just accept it, say, hey, this is a difficult space, but I'm strong and powerful and I'm flowing through it. See, we've got the self-doubts, we've got the insecurities, like we said here. Part of the process of just accepting them, even if we can't completely get rid of them, is that we can move on and through them. That's the obstacle, is the way. Even if they stay, maybe they stay as part of us in some fashion. But they still can't stop us. Love that. I hope those words are inspiring to you. They are inspiring to me. I'm trying to picture this space actually live. We get the satellite internet connection out in the woods, and I'm picturing this is like, it'd be like a crash of worlds. I'm sitting here with my little camera, and I'm picturing like a screen and a computer in the woods, and then I could respond to you live. I don't know if that's a good or bad thought. I don't know. Something sounds fun about it and something sounds wrong about it. Feels good to me just to sit here and listen to the birds and the breeze. I would sit here for a very long time doing it. I might still. I think I will flip the camera over into like a deer going through. I flip the camera over to traveling mode and I take a little walk with you around. I'll show you the goats. where they might go. I've made some trails through the woods where I can rope off some electric fence to keep the goats contained. Hopefully they do not escape. This is what everybody tells me. The goats will try to escape. But we give them lots of good stuff to do, lots of nasty stuff to chew through. I'll take a little walk, show you this stuff, and then we'll hop back, I'm thinking just to me, in the studio. Catch you on the walk here. All right, hey everybody. Now I'm like really here with you live on my little experiment here. Grabbed the camera. This is the first time that I've tried to do it. Take this camera and walk around, and much to learn for me to create some nice smooth footage. It was very jittery. I tried to apply an effect to smooth it out, but you see it does this little warp stretchy thing. But to give you the idea, so this space on our little family land here, got a little trail here. You see where I have brought the mower through there, but everything else just covered in all kinds of thorns and brambles and buckthorn and everything that doesn't belong there. And to me, this is really a type of analogy that I've tried to bring into our space, you know, with the fire. That, you know, fire on the land is a part of a natural cycle. It cleans out so much stuff. This is what's happening in our metabolism, especially opening up a fasting space. That autophagy space, this is what we really want. And so we've done some of that on the land here. You know, in the natural state on the land too, like prior to colonization, prior to the hunting off of all the megafauna, there was animals always on the land, grazing and helping to keep the spaces in check. That's why this land, how it originally was oak savanna, which means like kind of open prairie area and occasional oak trees. The ones that made it without being grazed when they were small. And so that's the ecosystem that we really want to have in this space. And so the thought of bringing health, like bringing health to the body, bringing health to land, to me is a really beautiful connection. I've talked, you know, in our talks on industrial society, like our bodies mirroring society and mirroring culture. And then, you know, when we see a place in actual nature where it's like, oh, like disturbance has happened, we have deviated from the natural cycles because we've killed off so many of the natural cycles. We've introduced, you know, things like buckthorn is not even supposed to be here. It's supposed to be on the other side of the world. Environment trying to adapt to that. And so just when I'm walking through a space like this, you know, I'm thinking like, okay, bringing fasting space into the body, burn through stuff we don't want. Bringing a space that is more in alignment with natural cycles into land and places to help heal it and bring it back into balance. So this is what I want to be doing here. Feels good to me to be out in nature, walking around. If I'm doing this in the future, if people enjoy seeing it, seeing the transformation, I'd probably get some better equipment to do it. But this is the space. This is this trail. Like, so this is the new trail that I cut through over the last few days. If you're looking to the right and left, it's just like a tunnel. You can't even walk through this space because there's so much buckthorn in there right now. And we blasted through there. I did with a chainsaw and a brush mower. And now we got a trail where we can walk through. I put some electric fence through there. and then we're going to be keeping some goats. Hopefully is the plan, to be munching through this sort of stuff. So hopefully my thought with the whole process give us a lot of natural analogies in health. Like we are trying to collect all of these analogies that help us move forward in the healthiest and most positive way. You know, one thing I'm thinking as I'm just watching this, as I'm thinking about my last couple days working on this trail, it's a lot of work. That's what I say. Making these trails was a lot of work. Even with some machines, right? A chainsaw and a brush mower really helped. But still a lot of work. And so you think, you know, look at this woods. Like, look how overgrown it is in here. And it can feel overwhelming. This is one thing to think. How are we ever going to get a handle on this? We thought about this, like in our property. Okay, but look at some focused action. Focused action was taken. A trail was made, right? And then all of a sudden, what seemed like completely impenetrable, now it is more defined, right? Now there is a path. Now it is surrounded. This is like kind of getting into atomic habits, right? We don't have to solve this entire space all at once, right? Let's break things down into some sections. Here, right here, I'm showing I cut a sideways path through that way. So I've broken it into paddocks where we'll move animals from one section to the next section. This is definitely like the type of thing that we want to do in our health space. We say, hey, I want to transform my health. Like, I want to sustainably lose weight in a way that helps me to feel good and positive, okay? If that process feels overwhelming, like a whole forest full of buckthorn, okay, we can break that off into sections. I do a lot of discussing here on the channel. Okay, let's break things into like the 4 quadrants of health that I like to focus on. Eating the healthiest food, okay? Maybe we just need to focus on that for a while. Like, that's one area we cordon off. And then the balancing side to it, opening up fasting space that helps us to balance out that food intake, balance out the calorie flow in the body. We're opening up space to let the energy flow out. And then kind of paddock 3, what is the movement practice that we have that is helping us flow through that space, bringing strength and energy to the body? And then maybe the most important space, the mental health space, the journaling, the mindset, the breathing, the meditation space. These are the cycles of health that we want to flow through. And so we cordon off these areas, just like we're cordoning off spaces of a forest that we want to restore into some natural space. Here's a little pond. I love this little pond. You get some animals drinking out of this pond. I wouldn't suggest that you do it. Kind of murky, but I think it'd be okay for the animals. We're almost back around. So once we're leaving the pond, we're getting back around toward the starting point where I was filming this session. And I'd be very happy, as we're seeing the reflection across the water there, I'd be very happy. Hear any reflection you have on this session. Reflection on Rick Rubin's thoughts about overcoming our insecurities, about flowing through our self-doubt. Reflections on this broader process. What is it like? The thought of bringing in the footage, and then it's like we're in a space, and then I'm here. I'm trying it out. My, in some vision, I would say, if people were here live, and, I would answer, questions, and we have a broader conversation. Right now, with me live, not too much in the way of conversation. So if you are here with me on the replay, if you've made it with me, hey, really nice to share this space with you. And I say share your feedback on this session. Do you like this idea, getting out in nature? Do you have suggestions about how to improve it? I hope the space was helpful. Hope the thoughts were helpful, and I look forward to seeing you back here soon. Have a great day, everybody.